Hello, everybody. It's John, your Indian cinemaniac, with another 10ish-minute movie review. Before I start with my review, a couple of things. Great reaction to Rang de Basante. And apparently I messed up. I said at the end of the film, there was a scene with the five guys with a little girl. And it's been pointed out to me that that was a little boy and not a little girl. So forgive me for that. Um, but interesting comments on that film. A lot of passion around that film, and like I said in the original review, I really enjoyed that film. So I appreciate all the back and forth with you guys. Greatly appreciated. Again, at the beginning, I'm gonna say it again. I keep telling you I usually wait till the end, but please, um, uh, again, all the interaction with you guys has been wonderful, and I love all the recommendations too. So please, I hope I've earned your subscription. Hit the notification button, and as always, smash that like button. So tonight, we are really taking a change of pace with this one. So the movie I'm going to review tonight is Delhi Belly, 2011 Delhi Belly. Um, where do I start in this? I am bringing my brother Ralph in for this one a little bit later on. And the reason I am because with all the Indian films we've watched, I don't know how to describe this one because it was so different from anything that we've seen. The tone of it, the uh, it seemed very Western to me. In fact, what surprised me the most was 90% in English. There's very little Hindi in it. I was not expecting that. And then as I read some research on it, it was written and co-directed by a writer from L.A. who was doing a screenwriting class at UCLA and submitted this to a lot of people, but it ended up in Amir Khan's hand, his production company's hands. So, okay, so let's do the basics. It was directed by Abhinay Deo and Akshat Verma, who also co-wrote it. It stars Imran Khan, who is Amir Khan's nephew. So I love him already. I mean, go figure. It also Ver Das, Kunal Roy, Shanaz Treasury, Horna Jagannathan, and VJ Raz, who was the coolest bad guy I have ever seen. This film, for me, had a Hangover vibe to it. The film The Hangover, which I think was made in 2009. It definitely had that feel to it. And once you get past the first scene, which is the passing of a package at an airport, so you assume it's drugs or something, which was, a cute scene, funny. But the first time you meet the guys, the three leads in the film, in their apartment, it opens up with a butt crack. That's the first thing you see. And I was like, okay, that's a little different. I haven't seen that before. And then from there, it just goes, I don't know. I told people I was going to watch this in the comment section. And my reaction to it was, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. It was so different from other Indian movies, and specifically the language, which was pretty rough. A lot of sexual situations, more so than any movies that I've seen so far. Very crude humor, which, by the way, right up my alley. Okay, but it was just with all the movies we've watched, it's just something I haven't seen. And again, in doing research with this, when it first came out, it was not, people didn't like it. Critics, audience members, because it was too crude. And now it's got a cult following, and I can certainly understand why, because it is hilarious. I couldn't stop. In fact, I normally take 2 or 3 pages of notes. I have 1 page of notes for this because I was just so into it and laughing my head off. So before I tell you more about the film, you already know I loved it. It was so funny. I was so glad I watched this movie. And it was short too. I think it was only like 90 minutes. I think that's what it was. I'm going to bring Ralph on because I told Ralph to watch this movie, that I was going to review it. And I said, I think he might like this. So watch it and then we'll do the show. So once again, give a big Cinemaniac welcome to the older brother in my family. I know you guys know that, but I just like to repeat that. Ralph Quattrucci. Yeah, he says Quattrucci. I say Quattrucci, so you figure it out. Welcome. Ralph. Hey, Ralph, welcome. My Cinemaniac base just gave you a rousing ovation. I don't know if you heard it. Did you hear it?
I did not hear it.
Okay, listen, before we get to the 10-ish minute review, and by the way, I have a timer to try to keep us to 10 minutes.
That's good.
I don't know if we'll be successful, but I've been getting a lot of questions about the wheel and the poll. Now, I did a poll on if you want the wheel or if you want the poll. And right now the poll is at 70%, the wheel is at 30. Now, someone did have a suggestion.
Makes sense. Yeah.
We should alternate. And I'm throwing this out without speaking to you first, but here's what I'm thinking.
Oh my God.
So we do a poll one, right? And we let the audience pick a movie. You know, we'll pick movies and they pick which one we're going to watch. Then we do this thing where the first person who comments, who tells us something from the show that they would have to watch to get and give us a movie, we'll put those on a wheel. So the first 6 people who answer this question can give us a movie.
Are you going to collate those 6 people?
Yeah.
This is getting super complicated.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Why can't we just, can I just make a suggestion?
No, because you don't want to give up the wheel. That's why.
I don't want to give it the wheel, but why can't we just pick the 5 that you want to pick, put those on the wheel? Why is it we have to do this whole polling thing?
Well, because Ralph, unlike your feeling about the wheel, I want to get the audience more involved.
But their 5 films are on the wheel. There are 5 films. Oh, they're not their 5 films. It's our 5 films.
That's right. So what I'm saying is let's do a wheel where it is their choices. And we'll get them picked by answer a question, give us the movies. The first 6 people get it right, give us a movie. Those are the 6 we'll put on.
Can I ask you, how long has this poll been going on? Because we're now at 70-30.
It's ending Friday. So it's been 3 days.
So I have another week to
I don't think it's going to win, Ralph.
Okay.
But anyway, so that's just something. Okay, now listen. I want to talk about this film because I just, my initial reaction to it was like nothing I've seen from these Indian movies, and it was much more Western. Now,
wait, are we talking about The Hangover?
Well,
or are we talking about
Delhi Belly?
Delhi Belly. Which one are we talking about?
We're talking about Delhi Belly, and I did mention that at the beginning. It had a Hangover vibe, but I found out
Hangover vibe. Okay.
Well, the writer of this movie was LA based, and he wrote this for UCLA and sent it to India.
Right.
And everybody turned it down, but it ended up on Amir Khan's desk.
Right.
And somehow
and this came out in when?
2011.
When did Hangover come out?
2009.
Okay.
So it's definitely, but even saying that, you think about the Indian audiences seeing a movie like this. And the other thing that really surprised me was, and I'm sure it did you too, I wasn't expecting 90% English.
Well, no. In all the films we've done, no, I was not expecting that. But that just shows you how, what's the word I'm looking for? How, it
influenced it.
Well, Indian viewers can watch an American, an English film, unlike us who can't handle, anything beyond if we don't see the subtitles or whatever. So they're used to that. For us, this was a shock. Oh my God.
But do you think they did that? Do you think they did that to appeal to more Western audiences, that they thought maybe if they did this, like the U.S. might watch this movie?
No, but if the U.S., like I watched it and I said, I've already seen this film. So no, I don't think so. I don't know why. Maybe it's wider throughout all of India. Again, these are questions I don't have the answer for. If someone wants to answer that question.
Well, it wasn't a hit when it came out. It became a cult hit.
Okay.
It became a cult hit.
Why?
Because it's first of all, why no one wanted to produce it, because the language, the sexual situations, the bodily functions, very crude for this. We've never seen anything like this in any of these movies. So it's very different.
Yes.
And they're so family oriented too, with the musical numbers to bring the whole family to movies. That's why they do that. So I could see where maybe the average Indian film goer, this isn't a movie for them.
Right. Do they have ratings in India like we have ratings?
I'm not sure about. Now, I've been told that, because I've asked questions, like especially about sex, because there's almost never any sex in these movies. None of them.
It's all implied. There's never.
Well, it's implied, but never. And I said, well, I mean, not that I'm looking for that, but are there movies that have that? And they said there are, but they're outside the system, the Bollywood system, or the other one. So they're not movies that are in the forefront, because they're made more for families. It's a family thing to go to a movie. That's what I've been told.
I mean,
So-
all the films we've watched, there are lots of scenes where all families go to the
Right.
cinema. There's no
That's right.
question. It's a group thing, and it seems to be, you know, that's and when you watch scenes of people watching films, they're interacting with what's going on up there.
That's
it's a much more interactive thing than we have here.
Well, that
for
one we
sure.
watched about the movie theater, it was the trek to the movie theater.
Right.
You know, so I get that. But that's why for me, like I usually take like 3 pages of notes, and I didn't do that during this movie because it was just so, it was all I can describe it. It was crazy. So I gave him my initial reaction, and you've already said it's The Hangover. But even having said that, what's your initial reaction? You liked it? You didn't like it? It was just a ripoff? What?
I enjoyed it. I felt like I couldn't get my head away from the fact that it's just The Hangover. Right down to the 3 characters, right down to the main handsome guy wears sunglasses to become a thing in the thing.
Like Bradley
They've got
Cooper.
the big heavy guy, the Zach Gack, you know, playing the heavy guy. He's
Right.
Zach Gal. How do you say his name?
Zach Galifianakis.
That's the
Ca-
character.
Canu
He's the one
Roy.
with all the bodily problems and going
He's
to
the
the
one that
bathroom.
the movie is named after, Bad Belly.
Okay, well there
Because
you
he had
go.
a bad belly throughout
And then the
movie.
third guy who ends up getting his head shaved,
Right.
it was the Ed Helms character where everything happened to that guy. Okay, right down to shaving the head. And my favorite thing is when he had the neck thing,
That's
and
right.
the whole rest of the film he's talking, which is legit. Okay, they even had an elevator scene in this one. This just like the elevator scene in The Hangover, where the 3 of them is sitting there trying to figure out what they're going to do. So I couldn't take my brain away from that. The other thing is, I want to see the Disco Hitman movie.
Wow.
That's
Well,
what I want to see.
so
And I
the
know
whole-
that's Amir Khan produced
Right.
this. I know that was him at the end
Yes.
as the Disco Hitman
Right.
doing the dance. The guy in the middle of this who has a fantasy doing the dance was
Arab.
fantastic. The
Arab.
way the hip things he was
Yeah.
doing. That's the movie I wanted to see, which tells me I guess I didn't really like this film
Yeah.
because I really wanted to see that. Now, did I like the characters? Yes. Was it funny? It was. The actors were charming. His girlfriend was charming, even though he didn't really like her,
Yeah,
and
the
he
one
ended
played
up with the
Sonia.
other one. Right?
Shanaz Treasury.
She's gorgeous
Yeah.
and funny.
Yeah.
The woman he ends up with was
Yeah.
funny. I liked her attitude, although I thought she fell in love with him way quicker than
Yeah.
I don't know. It just like happened. But again, I just couldn't take away the fact that I just felt like it's an Indian version of The Hangover.
Yeah. I mean,
And
it was.
knowing the guys from LA writing this, it's like, okay, that even
Right.
solidifies that even more because he's like, this is what worked here. Let's turn it into this. You know, this is not, I don't think it was made for an American audience because an American audience would have go, what, this is you know, so did I like it? Yes. Did I want to see Disco Hitman way more? Yes.
Well, since you talked about that, so I knew Amir Khan produced this.
Right.
So I'm looking for a cameo throughout the entire movie. And I'm like, he's not going to do a cameo. And then the end credits roll and they do the Disco Fire song.
Right.
And then he's on the airplane. And I'm like, oh my God. And he even said, because of the reaction to it, that they wanted to make a sequel
They
with
should.
that character.
They
But
should.
it didn't happen. He
Yeah.
was originally going to play the big guy.
Really?
Yeah,
No,
but he
that-
didn't want to. He didn't want to put on the weight to do the role.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
know how he is with his roles. And by the
Yeah.
way, the guy who played Tashi, the lead with the sunglasses,
Yeah.
that's his nephew.
I thought so. He had the same last name.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I thought.
Ralph,
No,
half,
I know, but for some reason in my brain, because
Okay.
Amir Khan produced it,
Yeah.
and I see a Khan in the lead, I said, okay, he's got to be related. And he
He was-
looked like him a little bit. He
He was good. He was
look.
good
Yeah.
too.
He was
a
good. He was
character.
a handsome dude.
Yeah.
He was the straight man through this whole thing.
Yeah.
The other two
Yeah.
guys were the comic relief or whatever. Now the whole I don't like bathroom humor. I can't stand bathroom humor. But in this one, it kind of worked.
But the way
especially-
they set it up,
Wow.
like he's stopping to get food.
and
And
that
the
guy,
the guy cooking the
grabs-
food scratches his crotch,
grabs his
then
junk.
grabs the
I know.
food,
I know.
and then gives it to him. And the rest
I
of
knew.
the movie,
I
he's
knew
on
right
the
then and
toilet.
there was going to be not good for him. I knew that.
Well, he had to use orange juice to flush himself out because they didn't have the water.
I mean, yeah.
and he was farting and his stomach was going.
And the whole side story with the landlord who they were,
Right.
you know,
They were gonna
blackmailing, right? You know, as always, these movies always end with everybody being kind of nice. Like they let that guy off the hook.
Right.
Everybody
felt
made,
bad 'cause
they
he-
save the money.
Right.
I
Well,
don't know.
because the guy did the thing, he put the paper at the bottom, put a few bills on top, like he
Right.
said. But I thought that was great. What scenes? Like I mean, there were some scenes that really made me laugh. Like the one, and again, this is because we haven't seen a lot of this in these movies. But when they were in the hotel room and they're pretending to have sex, and she's on top of him,
That was
and
funny.
she's yelling, "Get back in there!" Like
Right.
a horse, like a horse. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Or the other one that shocked me was when the villain, who by the way, VJ Raz was an amazing villain because
He was good.
He was so cool the whole meeting,
Yeah.
the whole movie, except for the end. But when they had the firecracker up the guy's butt and they lit it, I'm like, oh my god, this is not what I would ever expect to see in one of these movies.
You say that? I don't know.
You didn't think that was funny?
No.
Oh my god,
I did not. There's like when they're all wearing the burqas or whatever it is.
Yeah,
when they're
the black.
I don't know if that's cool or not, but it was funny seeing them in the car.
And they were so
stuff.
hot too. They were hot, and they was making out. She was making out with them. Remember when she was making?
And the guy, her ex-husband thought she's a lesbian, and that whole she's a lesbian. There was a lot of things going on in this that are different than anything we've seen.
Yeah.
Now, are they funny? They're okay. They're not like I like Three Idiots was funny to me.
But it was funny. It had funny things in it.
Yes.
But this was kind of, well, you didn't think it was as funny as I did. I thought it was pretty funny from start to finish. It wasn't like pockets of humor. It was funny. I mean, I'm not saying all the jokes work, but it was definitely, they were trying to be funny the whole movie. It wasn't like they were trying to get these dramatic scenes working.
No, they were definitely trying to be funny. That's no question. Even the bad guys.
Right.
Each one of those guys had some weird quirk that was,
crew.
Right.
And they were all getting mangled with the things in the arms and the.
Now, did you know that it was diamonds when it first?
No, because they didn't say. You thought it was drugs.
Well, I didn't. Well, when he laid out, when he kept laying out the thing, and then that bucket of poop comes out there, it's like that's not funny to me. I don't find
sample.
it.
That was
I know what that was. I know that's a mix up, classic mix up. You mixed up the stool sample, and the whole idea that the girlfriend was trying to deliver this thing, and everybody had to deliver it
as a favor.
Okay, as a favor.
But the way, that scene, the way he takes the red felt and just folds it out and picks up the little lint off it to make sure it's perfect.
I know.
And then he dumps it, and the look on his face. But he was so good the way he delivered his lines. Like he never got like manic till the very end.
His register always stayed the same.
Yeah, until everyone got shot at the end.
Well, you didn't see any of that.
No, I know.
And the shots are going through windows and doors and walls, and the guys in the bathroom ducking. The old couple, that old British couple that were just
next
there.
time. Let's go to effing Disney World.
That was funny. She was funny.
And then the scene where Arup, he goes to see the girlfriend, why she didn't show up at the movies, and she's getting married, so he's out there all sad. Then the dog humps his leg,
right,
and then it rains, and he's just standing there.
That's what I mean. He's Ed Helms.
He shaved his head because this happened to Amir Khan when he was involved in a relationship, and he did the same thing. That's why it ended up in the movie.
Amir Khan shaved his head.
His head, yeah,
because he was upset.
Yeah, because a girl broke up with him. Now, my question to you is, before he shaved his head, because that looked like a wig to me. Do you think that was his real hair, or was that a wig?
It didn't look like a wig. It looked like a wig, but in the shaving scene, they were shaving actual hair. So.
Yeah, but by the time they were shaving,
it was already down. Yeah. So no, that had to. I don't know.
The song he sang after they broke up, when he was the disco guy, and it was "Go to Hell, Witch."
Right.
And that was the other scene that made me just laugh when they're interviewing the actors at the very beginning, Tashi and Manaka.
Oh.
And she's doing the song. Can you want to hear my song? I hate you like I love you. And they're like,
in brackets.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. That's that's really good. Oh, there's more. And then at the end, when
that's her singing at the end, right?
And it's a great song. And apparently it was some kind of it rated on the charts out there. So that
scene where he jumps on her and kisses her in the car at the end. I mean,
well, that was when Harry Met Sally. It was beautiful.
Okay.
It was when was it Ed Helms kissed Heather Graham, the hooker.
See, that
it was just like
right.
that, right?
Exactly right.
So this, I'm just telling you, for me, and everyone told me it was really funny because the other comedy I watched was a horror comedy, and it was far more effective as a horror movie than it was comedy. It was kind of funny, but not really funny. So when someone told me, well, this is a really funny movie, okay, I thought it would be funny, but nothing, I wasn't expecting anything like the gross out humor and the F-bombing that you don't use, especially in English. But I have to tell you, when it was done, I was like, I loved it. I really did. I thought it was funny, even though it was The Hangover. I didn't even care. I just really liked it because it was. I think part of the reason was because it was so different from. And I just watched Wrong Day Basanti, which is a heady.
Okay,
tough
that's
movie.
fine. I mean, I understand if you had no idea about American films either, and you're watching nothing but heavy, and then you get some stupid comedy that goes, oh, it's light and it's feathery. I'm trying to think of a dumb comedy. The Rob Schneider comedies, right? Those.
like Gigolo there.
Gigolo, yeah, those. Not Ace Ventura, but Gigolo, right?
Yeah.
You'd go, oh, at least it's funny. This is like, because you can't look at this and not go, it's The Hangover. You got three guys in it. They all have the same quirks and everything. Okay, so yes, if you take away The Hangover and you go, we're watching all these heavy Indian films, and yeah, this is a funny film. And actually, the characters were enjoyable. I enjoyed watching them.
Yeah,
but I just couldn't help thinking that I've seen it all before.
Yeah.
And now the Burker thing in the jewelry store was funny. I like that when the guy is sitting there and he's watching the thing and. There's some good stuff going on there, but as always with these Indian films, like the stakes are always way ramped up. Always, it's like it's absurd.
Well, that definitely escalated quickly.
It did escalate quickly, but again,
and then when the guys upstairs, when the roof collapsed because they were dancing upstairs in the apartment and it fell on everybody, and then at the end they're waving to them. Because they ended up saving their lives.
And half those people died in that, half didn't. Right. And then the shootout, you don't see anything.
That's right.
And all you're seeing is bullet wounds and all this stuff. But again, I can't help but saying I want to see that Disco Hitman movie. That's what I want to see.
I wonder if they made I'm gonna have to check on YouTube if they made a full-length video of that. That last song. Of the last song. Yeah.
Well, that was just a mirror thing that they were doing there. But I love the moves. I love the moves.
Yeah.
He looked like he was having a blast.
When he was on the airplane.
What's the airplane?
Yeah, that was the same thing in the credits. They went between the disco thing and then he was on the wing of an airplane.
Oh, I didn't. I must.
Did you drop lid, Ralph? You dropped.
No, I did not. I did not. But I must have. I try to sit through all the credits, but come on now.
Because there's
always Disco Hitman. I would love to see that film.
Yeah. Okay. So normally on the big show we do Zooby Do, Zooby Don't. What do you think on this one?
Well,
Ralph, it's okay. Ralph, you don't have to love everything. Okay?
I don't. I say Zooby Don't. I say there were parts of it that were like pleasant and funny. The women in this, they're always charming. They really are. The burqa scene is fun to watch, but if Disco Hitman were in more, I think I'd like it more. That's all I'm going to say.
So basically what you're saying is if I'm
here's what I'll do. I'll give it a meh, like in the middle.
Meh. If Amir Khan was in it more, you probably would have liked it more.
If Disco Hitman, I don't care if it's Amir Khan. I like that he did that at the end.
Whoa. Just back off of that statement, okay?
Disco Hitman in general should be a franchise. That should be a franchise.
And they had the posters too with Disco Hitman.
That was so much fun.
Yeah, I definitely
I say in the middle.
Zooby-Doo, because I just thought this was so different from anything I've seen, and it really made me laugh. It did. Even though I was, again, even with the Shakespeare movies, I always relate the movies back to Shakespeare. Well, this one I related it back to The Hangover. Okay, I saw that scene. They were redoing that scene.
Okay. The one thing I've noticed, you mentioned that film you watched last week, Sholay. Was that the name?
Sholay. Yeah.
Sholay. There's one thing about doing an homage to films.
Yeah.
There's another thing with just flat out copying what's going on in a film.
Well, wait a minute. What was there?
What is
diamonds?
the difference?
When were there diamonds in The Hangover?
It's okay. You're right.
Sorry. What? I didn't hear what you said.
There were no diamonds in
The
Hangover.
So it wasn't exactly.
Right.
But the concept of three
the elevator
guys,
scene, did you think that looked familiar?
I did. The three guys getting in trouble.
The sunglasses. I need my sunglasses back. Did that look familiar? Yes.
The good bad guy.
Did the guy look like Zach Galifianakis a little bit? Heavy-set guy with a beard?
He had much better hair.
Okay.
Much better hair.
All right.
And he's Amir Khan's nephew.
And listen, if The Hangover weren't in existence, perhaps I would go, this was good because I like the scenario. I like the situations these guys were in.
Yeah.
It was funny, and the stakes were good for them. The
So
stakes,
you would not recommend this to other people? Like
other people. What do you mean other people?
People who don't normally watch Indian films.
No.
Would you say to them, like I told Steve, I think this is a movie you'd like?
No. You mean American audience?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, they'd spot it in a heartbeat.
Okay.
Now, Disco Hitman, I would recommend that without even seeing it right now. I would recommend that one to everybody.
Okay. All right. So listen, we went about 13 minutes. So we did go a little bit over, but it is like, I mean, this is gold right here. In fact, this is the reason why you want to subscribe, hit the notification button, and as always, you want to smash that like button. So
we have an Instagram. We don't have to put it up. Maybe I'll send you the Instagram thing, but we should. Yeah,
give me the Instagram link.
I will. We should put that logo on there because we're trying to get some hits that way too. Yeah, we're trying to expand a little bit.
We have a loyal following, but we're trying to expand our reach. So listen, first of all, Ralph, thank you for coming on, but I got to let the audience know the next film I'll be doing that won the horror poll by quite a bit actually is the movie Pari. It's 2018, and what I hear is it's a good horror movie. So I'm looking forward to that.
So this a poll or was this on the wheel?
This was a poll,
not on the wheel.
This was not. I don't do the wheel. That's a you thing, and I would never want to take away from that.
That is.
You've got the magic
copyright
of the poll. You definitely should. Right. But we're gonna have a conversation around the poll and the wheel, and we'll try to figure something out. Because look, ultimately, we like the engagement with you guys. And if there's ways that we can do that and not lose the wheel or maybe switch back and forth, whatever it might be, we would love to do it because you guys have a lot of recommendations. And
can't we put on the wheel or poll? We just spin the wheel for that?
For the pick, maybe.
That's what I'm saying. Wheel or poll. Just two things on the wheel.
You are going to figure out a way to get this wheel more involved.
I don't want the wheel gone.
How about on our show? Because there's 6 of us on the show.
Right.
We spin the wheel for someone to get voted off the island one week.
I have no problem with that.
Because
if it's me, nothing will get recorded. But so 5 people is what you should do.
Ralph's got to be there because I told you,
you can't do this without me. That's for sure.
I know that's. Well, right. I can do a Zoom call.
Right.
It's not flashy, but anyway, Ralph, thanks for coming on again. I appreciate it. I thought you would have liked this film, but not quite as much.
Did they get sued for this looking like The Hangover or not?
No
suit, no lawsuits. Okay,
no lawsuits at all. In fact, it's a brilliant film, and everyone thanked Amir Khan for taking the chance.
Listen, Amir Khan, please do Disco Hitman. That's the killer right there.
I gotta tell you, I want to see that too. I'm not gonna, but me and Amir Khan, I'll see anything he's in.
Right, but that would be awesome.
Even that Forrest Gump movie, I gotta watch that eventually.
We're gonna have to, right?
I'm gonna have to.
Maybe we should watch that live, like we just watch it as one of the shows,
like a fan reaction.
We just watch it.
Audience, let us know what you think. Should we watch it live and comment?
Let's do a poll or put it on the wheel. Whatever.
I'll put it on a poll. All right, hey everybody, or I'll put it on a wheel. I don't know what. Everybody, thanks for watching, and again, we'll see you next time with our 10ish-minute review. The film will be Pari. Thanks a lot, everybody.
See you. Thanks, John.
You're welcome.
Bye.